Good afternoon. I want to get on here and do a quick update on kind of some of the stuff that we're working on and something we need help with. And so our attorneys are prepping for the state trial there in Harney County. And so they've kind of reached out to kind of get some help. And so we're kind of talking strategy. And so this is kind of what we're coming up with and what we need help with. And so if anybody knows anybody, it's all about engaging with our networks of people, seeing who we have in our sectors and getting the help that we need. And so it's been kind of quiet the last couple weeks, and I've been doing some other stuff, and I hope you guys have been doing some other stuff. And so that's but we're getting ready to get back into work. And so it's going to be really, really important coming forward is, we have, trial that's going to start on September 18th. So we're prepping for that right now. Some of the stuff that we need help with is we need people that know somebody that might be attached to the military museum up near Portland. So if we know anybody that's a volunteer or somebody that has a contact there that you could kind of put me in touch with, that would be great. It could be a volunteer, it could be somebody that works there that has pretty good working knowledge of historical firearms. That's kind of what we're trying to figure out, because there is a really good museum near the Portland area, and so I'm just kind of reaching out, spitballing, see what we can do to kind of save some costs. And so, hey, Lonnie, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And so that's kind of where we're at. Is we're trying to figure out, how we navigate. We do, the best we can with the resources that we have available. And so part of this is doing preparation for, video work, all this other stuff that's going to be going ahead of trial. And so, with that, we gotta be prepared. And so, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope everybody's doing well. And it's going to be a lot of work, going forward. But hopefully we get the information that it goes in our favor. That's kind of my biggest fear right now is they're going to use smoke and mirrors to, take this and win with it, and they don't have a program ready to go for a permit to purchase. So, that TRO should still stay in effect. We're going to showcase the fact how easy it is to, make a magazine, extend the capacity of a magazine. We're going to do all that, so it's just really, really important that we know there's things that, hopefully will go our way, but there's things that were working against us. Right. And we just got to, keep our head up and stay positive and understand, we're up against the machine, and the machine, they're spending a lot of money. And so, we're probably, I would imagine I need to put in another freedom of information request, but I guarantee we're already over $2 million in Measure 114 cost. And that's probably at the state level. And so, it's a damn shame is what it is. So if you guys are seeing this, I appreciate it. I'm not seeing any comments. I don't know if they're trying to silence me. Say I've had a really hard time with Facebook lately. Instagram the same way. They've really been, throttling us, so it's like the big tech, and I'm hoping, Twitter is a better option, but I don't like Twitter. So I don't know if anybody's on Twitter. Hey, Todd. And so that's kind of where I'm at. So we need, some military experts. If we have anybody in our circles of people that know historical traditions when it comes to the building of firearms in the beginning of the state, because we're going to be in state trial. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And so, that's kind of, I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you. And I haven't been doing these as often. I miss the conversations. But I hope everybody's doing well. But we just got to get ready for the next saga. And the next saga, I did talk to our attorneys about 2005, and so they are aware, and they think that is a good one that we should pursue. But obviously, it's going to cost money. We need plaintiffs, so there's a lot of stuff involved there. But at the end of the day, we have a pretty good shot there. So there's, that's kind of where we're at. we're trying to, strategize to figure out what's going to be the best use of resources. That way we're not spending money where we shouldn't be spending money, and let them burn up all their resources, or all of our resources, I should say. And so that's just kind of something to think about. And I'm glad you guys are here. And so another thing I want to kind of focus on is the background check queue. Okay, I'm glad you made it. And so currently the queue is going to about 100 per day. That's typically, so basically they've cleared it all out. And I spoke to the attorneys today and said, hey, this is what they're doing. They're trying to make it look good ahead of court that they've done they've got the process down. So now they can, process all these background checks quickly, yada, yada, yada. The problem is they don't have the program in place. And so that's going to be another thing that is, going to rule that this thing is still not going to go into effect. So, I mean, we got our fingers crossed, but, we have to understand how the Oregon State Police is influencing this situation by the way they're doing the background checks. And so they have a new process. I believe it was in June, end of June, they introduced a new process. And so they've cleared out, we were in the heyday, we were at, close to 40,000 people in the queue. And to the fact they were working overtime, didn't have enough staffing, all this stuff. And I saw this stuff in discovery when we're working, getting ready for the federal trial, is they didn't have the people. There's people trying to schedule meetings, to have meetings, to talk about meetings. It was a complete disaster at Oregon State Police. And so that's in the fix unit. So that's the firearms instant check system. That's the unit that does all the background checks. And they're going to be the ones that are going to be in charge of this new permitting process. And, so they're utter failure there. The problem is now they've cleared out the queue. They've used the ATF guidelines, because those 4473 forms are only going to be good for, 30 days. And so what they've done is they deleted all of these 4473s that they couldn't process within that 30 days. So they cleared up all this queue. And they put, I think, 10 to 12,000 people in a delayed or denied status in the background check queue. So what they're doing now, they're going to do background check investigations on those people, but they're not presenting an accurate story to the judge there in Harney County. And so basically they're using this 3-card money to make it look like they're doing the work and they can keep up. They don't realize that there's estimated 4 million citizens in Oregon. Probably half of us own firearms, so let's say 2 million people. So 2 million people have to have a background check to buy have a permit to purchase to go buy a firearm. And so they don't have the infrastructure. I mean, we saw what they did, back in December, back in January, where that queue went to, 40,000 people. I mean, they just don't have the resources to do so and make sure that they can process, these background checks in a timely manner. And so these are something to think about, and so, yeah, Lonnie, this is what I did bring up to our attorney. I said, hey, I want this on your radar. This is what they're doing. And so he was glad to hear that, because that's something he's not sure how he can use it, but he's going to try to figure out how to use it. Comes down to, Lonnie, they don't have the permit to purchase program ready to go. And they never will, because they don't want the liability that's involved here. And so, that's where, we got to just kind of keep our head held high and just know that it's going to take time. We're going to be filing an appeal in federal court, in the Ninth Circuit, so we just gotta stay patient. And I know it's the last thing we want to do right now is be patient, because of what we've gone through over the last year. I don't know about you. Actually, it's only been, 9-10 months, but it's been a pretty traumatic experience for us as law-abiding citizens, because none of this stuff has done anything to help any crime in the state of Oregon. And it's put us all in a position where, we can't exercise our rights the way we intend to do, and then to be able to go buy a firearm, and so, just something to think about there. The whole magazine capacity thing, we could really use a good ruling out of California right now. And, I hope we get these rulings that we need to kind of kind of help things. And so, that's kind of where I'm at. So, hey, Larry, I hope you're doing good, man. It's been a while. It's just been kind of crazy here for me, and I bet everybody's crazy. It's been nice to kind of have some time off where we can kind of, there's nothing they can do to us, right? They've done all the damage that they can do. So, but we don't want to get out of practice. We all want to stay up to date. It's been hard, putting new content into the group. I've reached out to people to kind of put things to play in place, so we can have some new kind of fresh ideas and stuff like that. So that's kind of exciting, but it's kind of a slow time of the year. And so we just got to be prepared for, what's coming next, and next is, we're preparing right now for state court. That's going to be September 18th to the 25th roughly. And so, that's going to be something that we're going to have to be kind of mindful of. There's going to be a live stream. It's going to be in Harney County. And so, the people that are in Burns area, if you guys can be there, that'd be awesome. I'm going to try to be there September 18th and 19th. So I can only do 2 days, because I got to go to Arizona on 21st, I think. And so I'm going to go there for a couple days and show support and obviously do what we do and give you guys information, and then hop a plane to Arizona. So I'm excited for that. So, but other than that, I just want to, if there's anybody that has any contacts at the Oregon, let me find it, the actual name of the museum. 1 second. So, and my fingers aren't working. Okay, so it's the Oregon Military Museum. And so what we're looking for is it's the Oregon Military Museum. So we're looking for anybody that's a volunteer there or have any contacts there. And so if you know anybody there, or I'd like to get in touch with somebody so I could put them towards, turn them towards our people to, get them through the process and to kind of help with this whole thing. And so we know anybody that's, volunteers there, it's ever been there, archery season. What? No way. Well, sorry guys, it's been canceled this year. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it is archery season. I get it. But it is the first season. Okay. So the first season, that's the hot season. Okay. And the animals aren't in ruts. So, you might have some free time available. In reality, you don't need to be there. In reality, just stay up to date with updates. I mean, there's little that literally, there's very little that we can do from court. It's just going there to, show support for our attorney, have a show of force there, and let these tyrants know that we're still engaged. So, yep, August 26th, huh? Well, bummer. So you're gonna miss elk season then, Larry. Just kidding. So, but that's kind of where we're at, so we just want to, make sure that we stay up to date. I'm going to get better at doing better, updates more frequently as things kind of ratchet back up again. Things we have to kind of watch out what's happening in politics. Look out for town halls. That's another thing that we should be aware of. I did see that Julie Fahey, she's my rep from this. She's a leader in the House. She has a town hall coming up on August 12th. And what I love to do is show up and make sure, I'm starting to get all these, I'm seeing stuff on social media. They're doing these town halls. They want to hear from you. And so what I'd like to do is start creating events that we put here in the group so we can get people to show up to hold these people their feet to the fire. And so, that's kind of where we're at. And so, I think that's just something that, if you guys see any town halls, is let's create an event so we can get people there and let's have them answer these hard questions. Like why another law? why another law that's not going to do anything to keep people safe? Why are you constantly attacking law-abiding citizens? And we know why. Ultimately they want us all disarmed. They want us eating bugs. They want us eating crickets. Next is they're going to go after bows. So, and instead of dealing with the real issues of the state, which is fentanyl, homelessness, mental health, all that other stuff. And so yeah, let me see where. Well, thank you, Larry. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing is we have different rules, right? There's a and we're noticing. We look on the big picture, like at the federal level, we see what happened with Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden. There's I don't see how. I mean, obviously he's very privileged, but I don't see how he walks away from this situation. I really don't. Just because it is so glaring, the overreach and the special treatment and so that gives me hope, and I'm hoping that there's enough pressure that, realistically, he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. I feel, from everything that I'm seeing, I feel that there's to a point where they can no longer, defend him. Obviously, the president cares for him because he's his son, but he's like an anchor around everybody's neck, just dragging him to the bottom of the ocean. And so, that's, something where I'd like to think that pretty soon there's no other option but then to try him, convict him, and then send him to prison where he belongs. So that gives me, I'm watching that closely because I'm looking at, you and I, if we got busted, we lied on a 4473 form, or if we left a gun outside of a garbage can near a school, we would be in jail, and there's no way around that. And so, my thought is here is we're talking about the tax evasion stuff, all this other stuff that leads up to this bigger picture where, it's really hide all the illegal activity. And so that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that, this definitely we have a correction there. We get that guy incarcerated, and that way we don't have a different set of justice here in the states. And that's the problem. I think there's a lot of people right now, like this comment right here, like there's a lot of people that don't believe the process. They totally think that it's skewed, it's set up for certain people to benefit, which I completely agree. And I'm very skeptical and cynical of what's happening in both the state and across the country. And we're talking about 2005. So 2005, I did talk to the attorney. They think that there would be a good case that we could challenge. And I reached out to the Republicans. Remember that photo op? It was probably a month and a half before this session ended, where the Republicans all had this big check for $25,000. On the memo line it said earmarked for House Bill 2005. Well, I've reached out to them and say, hey, where's this thing's in effect now, right, because of an emergency clause. So where's the lawsuit at? When are we going to be filing this lawsuit like you guys said we're going to? I haven't heard anything back. And so I'm hoping that, maybe they missed my message, or they didn't understand it, or maybe they're taking some time off and they're, getting their legal strategy together so they can, have this valiant effort in court. But I haven't heard. And so I'm very kind of concerned about, whether we got, played here or not by the Republicans. I hope we didn't, but until I hear otherwise, I'm going to think otherwise. So, that's kind of something I'm concerned about is where that money is and what it's being used for. And so, because they're going to, come election time, they're going to be asking for votes. They're going to be asking for endorsements. They're going to be asking for funding, right? So all of this stuff should, if they get any help from us, the gun owners, there should be some, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. You said you're going to file a lawsuit. Where's the lawsuit? And so, that's something that I want to, make sure that we get these questions answered. I mean, I'm not gonna drive the bus over them right now because it's just, I know people had a long session, they wanted some time. I get it, but I'd like to know where we're at on the lawsuits, and I think that's kind of where I want to know, and so obviously I'll keep everybody up to date there because I think that's really important stuff to know. Is because it's like comes down to trust. Like, can we trust you to help us when we need the help, and are you going to trust us to help you? So we're kind of in this together, and so that's why I feel that we need to get these questions answered and figure out where that money is and what it's being done with. So and I'm not gonna until I know for sure. I'm definitely not gonna drive a bus over them. I'm bringing it up for conversation, so it's on your radar, right? I want you guys to be aware because a lot of stuff that if we don't talk about it, it just gets buried in our news cycles. And so this stuff is, we need to make sure we hold these feet to fire. If you guys are gonna say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do this photo op, we need follow through. So that's kind of where we're at. So I hope that all makes sense. It's frustrating, and part of the frustration part for me is just kind of like, now what do we do? Where do we go? And right now we should be working on infrastructure work, to get ready for the fall, stuff like that, and doing some other training opportunities. So another thing I've been thinking of is like some media training, which I'm thinking of bringing on some of my guys from around the country to do some more live stream stuff where we're doing some media training. We're talking about how we write letters to the editor. The other side does letters to the editor, and they're really, really effective. And so we have to start using their tools against them. And another thing is, how do we get in front of a camera? What do we do when we have a camera in front of us? How do we react? What questions do we answer? How do we present and represent gun owners in a positive manner? So that's another thing that I would like to make sure that we have on everybody's radar is that going forward, so we know the whole point is that way we're weaponizing what we have here, and so and turning this stuff into action, and action for good. So other than that, that's about all I got, unless you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. Want to kind of keep it light and quick so I don't take up a lot of your time. Absolutely. 100% right here. Let me pop Brian. Yeah, right here. And so that's the thing, is how do we take the air out of their arguments. And I think I've been monitoring my Google alerts. Like, I have them set up still. Every day I'm getting a Google alert that says Measure 114. It's the newest Measure 114. So I always click on it. I go through the information in the Google report. There's nothing related to Measure 114. So I delete that email immediately so they do not get any kind of hit, a bounce, or anything like that. So what I'm trying to do is just take away their ability to sell ads. And that's what they're trying to do, is they put Measure 114 or they'll put House Bill 2005, and because they'll get us to try to click on it, and then that's when they get paid and they sell their ads. And so I'm not going to play their game. I'm just going to delete that. It's going to go to my spam folder, and I'm not going to help them, because they're so corrupt. There's very few honest, independent journalists here in Oregon. So that's something we have to cut off their funding. We have to cut off their ability to reach the public, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And so that's why there hasn't been a lot of Google alerts put into the group as of late, just because there's been nothing that's related to anything that I really want to follow. And so it's just really, really important you understand that, and understand how the algorithms are working. That's really, really important. And a lot of people, if you're new and you don't understand tech, that's another training that would be really, really important to know is how we use technology to our advantage. And so I've learned a lot over the years, and a lot of it is because of just the connections I made and the travels that I've done. and it's all to help you guys, right? Because we're all in this together, right? And so it's my hope that this helps us at the end of the day. And so, we have some good strategies going forward on, what we can do to, you know, hopefully push back on this stuff, So, but definitely, keep your head down, save your money, right? Put money up because of what's happening with the economy. They're saying that it's good. I don't see it as good. I see a lot of people struggling, so just put your money up. Buy powder, buy primers if you can. I did find some primers the other day, put those up. I did find some powder. So, buy your components, put those up for a rainy day. It's all about preparation, right? So everything we do is about preparation. So, other than that, I've been doing some long range shooting. I've been really been enjoying that. So looking forward to, getting out to 1,000 yards hopefully soon. And it's been fun. So I've been doing some different things and doing some stuff for YouTube for our kids channel. And so it's been fun. So hope you guys are having a good summer. And I'm going to get off here though, but I'll just kind of touch base a little bit later on. And I think I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys hear anybody that might be an expert in or volunteers or works at the Oregon Military Museum, please let us know. We need to kind of put some people together for that. And we'll touch base soon. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.